What's up, Sword Family? And welcome to the special Halloween edition of the Teahouse. Tonight, we are going to be discussing Biàn Liǎn, which is face-changing from the Sichuan Opera. Not the Peking Opera, Sichuan Opera. Biàn Liǎn literally translates to face-changing. So we had a little bit of fun with some Halloween makeup. Can't really see a lot of the accent lines, but I was going for something, similar to this without being able to go into as much detail as this, because this is obviously the first time I'm ever even attempting to do anything like this. So it was definitely a new thing to try. And I have my my strip light turned on, but with the light outside, you can't really see a whole lot. Maybe by the end, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. But yes, face changing. This idea came, like a lot of my ideas do, from Trey. A couple months ago, I don't remember exactly when, she gave me the idea of doing doing a Teahouse show on face changing, or face magic, it's also called. And she even suggested doing it as a Halloween episode. So I have been holding on to this for quite a while now. I don't really know exactly how long, but it's definitely been a while. And as I've never done a show on this, and it would require at least a little bit of makeup, I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and talk about face changing. The basic idea is usually the performer is wearing very, very thin cloth masks, and they layer them. And through flourishes, either with a fan movement or a cape or a flag, they will quickly switch the masks out. It's really, really interesting, and quiet, you don't play yet. It's definitely a fun thing to watch, and once you understand the mechanics of how they do it, a lot of people tend to think that once you know the the how. When people do tricks, it takes away from the magic of said trick. I don't really feel that way because it's still really, really impressive to watch. So does it really matter if you know how they're doing it? Not really. But we'll go into some more detail here in a minute. But first, we're going to go through our comments. I'm trying really, really hard not to scratch my nose because my nose itches. And first through the door at 4:05 p.m., a full hour and a half early, is Foxy. Hello and welcome to the Teahouse. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting content. After today, I will have one more stream on Monday for my normal Nine Dragons play stream. And then I'm not sure if I'll be doing any live streams next week because most of my audience will be at a convention without me. I might do something possibly Wednesday night when we usually do Creative to Play. But there will not be a Teahouse next Saturday. But I will be back on, what is it, November 3rd? Hold on. Check my calendar. Yes, I will be back on November 3rd for another Nine Dragons stream, and I will be back on the 8th for another Teahouse, where we will start the discussion on the female Chinese folk heroes. That will be, in a couple weeks. And Houston, Texas Dave is joining us, pours a glass of Texas sweet tea and a glass full of ice. Yeah, that sounds nice. And Aunt Donna joins us, greeting Foxy and Dave. And Foxy greeting Dave and Donna. And Kitty is joining us. Hey, y'all. Hello, kitten. And greetings for Kitty. And greetings for Kitty. And Uncle Carl is joining us. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Carl. Face changing is amazing. Looking forward to this. It really is. It's definitely a skill that you have to pick up, as is painting your face like they do for Peking and Beijing operas. And Donna greeting the Woodsman dude, and be different for sure. She knew what I looked like before we even started because she helped me with most of this. And Ruby is joining us. Hi, everyone. Hello, Ruby. Never heard of face changing, so I'll be learning something today. Well, that's kind of the whole point, is to learn. Greetings for Ruby. Greetings for Ruby. More greetings for Ruby. And Midnight over on Twitch. Hey, Sword People. Hello, Midnight. And Sarah's joining us. Oh, my God. Sarah. Wow. Yeah, it definitely has been ages. It's good to see you, though. I'm glad you're here. And I had not been going for a full minute before we have our first Kickbot. Wonderful. Neat mask. Oh, which one? This one? Or this one? I actually picked this up at our local secondhand store. And it hangs on my wall right up there. Kind of my wall of fame. Greetings for Sarah, and greetings for Sarah, and greetings for me. And more greetings for Sarah. Of course, I'm here for the Halloween special, Black and Red too. That's right. We summoned you and you didn't even know it. Of course, there's also yellow and gold and a little bit of white that you can't really see. And Sarah greeting the fam, and Dark Misses, side note, haven't forgot about you. And Dawn is joining us. Evening. Good evening, Dawn. And greetings for Dawn, and more greetings for Dawn. And fam, warm heart fuzzies, yes. And another kickbot, wow. Okay then. They're definitely out there today. That tray full of ideas. You're not wrong. A lot of my short form videos are either direct ideas from her, or they are based on something that she said during one of our tea times or during one of our random conversations. She definitely... I kind of want to back up a little bit because I'm also wearing different robes tonight. It kind of goes down to past my knees. This is a Wudon robe. Got kind of a little bit of longer sleeve so that you can do the scholar thing and hide your hands. I was going to try and get pictures in a very, very cool area that has a lot of really nice colors, but we didn't really have time before we got started, which is really unfortunate. Synced up with the timing of being able to tune in for sure. Mind link, that's right. Like I said, we summoned you. We summoned Sarah. And more greetings for Dawn. Greetings, greetings. Audio being choppy for anyone else? I'm sorry. Not choppy for Donna too. Then, huh? I don't know. Oh yeah, this was a little bit of work, and it didn't go quite as well as I was hoping it would have. But like I said, I was trying simplify this because, I mean, I definitely had enough colors that I could have done something like this. It's more time. We didn't have enough time to do something that elaborate, but yes, happy Halloween for sure. Audio cleared up, huh? I didn't really change anything, but okay, whatever. But yes, I have my fan. That was my entire plan, is to take from this to this with a quick flicking open of the fan, just to give an idea of what Biàn Liǎn kind of looks like. So I have a couple videos pulled up that I can show later to show a real Biàn Liǎn performance. But for now, I don't actually have anything other than what I currently have. So it was just kind of, it was for fun, really. It wasn't really anything serious. I mean, it's just fun. Summoning me obviously worked, looking down while listening and doing some work, looking up time to time. Halloween, my tradition's New Year. That's right. Samhain. Savin. Not freaking Sam Hain. Was a bit of a shock opener. That was the idea. That was the plan. So, as I said, Biàn Liǎn is an ancient Chinese art that is part of the Sichuan Opera. Performers will wear brightly colored costumes and move to quick, dramatic music. They also wear vividly colored masks, typically depicting well-known characters from history, which they change from one face to another with swipe of a fan, head movement, hand waves, flags, capes. I actually kind of considered doing, this to try and hide the face instead of using the fan, but I was afraid if I got too close, I would mark up my lovely Wudon robe, so I did the fan instead. Uh-oh. Lights went out. That's not good. Yes, not pronounced as spelled. Samhain, yeah. That's Irish pronunciation. Scottish, it's Sabin. But people who have no idea. And if the people honestly don't know better, if they've only read the word and they don't actually know how it's pronounced, they're just reading it, they've never heard it said, I will give those people a pass because they don't know. But if you've heard the proper pronunciation and you still say it wrong, you're just being an asshole. You're just being a jerk. Time for some candlelight dancing all around you. That'd be fun. Just, actual candles, not those stupid flickering light candles. I hate those things. They're annoying. Not good. Yeah, it's definitely not good. Yes, it is. It is the Celtic New Year. I know. Trust me, I know. Only part of the house, Witsman Dude is headed for the basement. Uh-oh. That's usually where the serial killers hide when after they turn your lights off. They hide in the basement, don't they? If Carl doesn't come back, now we know why. Must have just been a breaker. Yeah, tripped a breaker. Yeah, we do that all the time. Luckily, our breaker is in that bedroom right over there. So I don't have to go very far. I don't even have to go outside. Yes, LED candles give me the real thing. And yes, green room can be induced with that statement. Well, we're only 20 minutes in. Let's save the green room comments for 10, 20 minutes from now. Think the fake ones would be safer with, the fake ones would be safer with all the cats and cats' propensity to knock things off the shelves. So, it would be quiet, Facebook. No one's talking to you. Link chat. Face changing is an integral part of the Sichuan Opera. Sichuan Opera differs from Beijing Opera and Peking Opera because Sichuan Opera generally, not always, generally tends to focus on more of the Han Dynasty period. Whereas Peking and Beijing opera can be any period whatsoever. But Sichuan opera kind of tends to stay more Han and before. It is popular in more of the upper parts of China. And the masks are a very important part of performing. They are considered to be treasures that ancient artists built and worked on, and they passed them down to the next generation. Along with the secret of how face changing works was also passed down through families. So you're going to find certain families that do it one way and another one that does it a different way. It's all kind of a family structure, very similar to martial arts. You know, you have family styles. Well, you also have family styles in Biàn Liǎn. Traditionally, it was only males that were allowed to learn because it was believed that women left the family. They would get married and leave the family and join another family, which would mean that that family would now be able to learn the original family's secret. Now, obviously, nowadays, there are multiple female Biàn Liǎn performers, but that is a more modern, recent thing. You're not going to find, just like you're going to go to like original Shakespeare plays, all of the characters were male. Even the female characters were played by male people. Now that was just misogyny, really. It was just women can't act. Women don't belong up here. But at least as far as Biàn Liǎn is concerned, there was admittedly a bad, but still a reason why women were not allowed to learn. And it was because they didn't want the secret to be passed to a new family when the daughter got married and left her original family. Had to start using battery operated candles for Yule. Yeah. In your future, so 15, 20 minutes was provided. Never mind me, seriously trying to work, but dang it, it's been so freaking long. Listening now for real, pretty sure. We'll see. We'll see. And Dan joins us. Good evening, just got back from shopping. Yes, there is crab style. This is true. No, you're fine. Hey, Dawn. I mean, Dan. In a red dress. Nope. That's never happening again. That was a one and done. And if you missed it, well, it's recorded, so you can go back and watch it anyway. More greetings for Dan. Of course, yeah. That was classic. It was not my idea. It was Joe's idea. The crab style was obviously my idea, but the dress was Joe's idea. I'm not going to take credit for that one. Good show tonight? I hope so. I hope to at least, be able to inform. So originally, if you wanted to learn Biàn Liǎn, there was one way, and only one way to do it. Well, no, technically there could be another way, but You either had to be born into a family that already did it, or as a male, marry into a family, and you could maybe learn that way if the family that you married into is willing to teach you. Because, as I said, similar to martial arts, Biàn Liǎn families were very, very protective of their secret. So if you just married into the family just to get the secret, they're probably going to find out. They're probably going to catch you. And if they don't, and you learn their secret and then leave, or learn their secret and then teach it to someone else, teach it to like your other family, they're going to find out, and they're not going to be very pleased with it. And there might be some repercussions to you and to your family, because they are very, very protective of the secret, or were actually, because obviously now we know how it's done. And that is because during an interview in, I want to say the early 2000s, there was a Sichuan opera performer who said that the secret got out during a visit of a Sichuan opera troupe to Japan in the 1980s, like the mid 1980s. And somehow, during that visit to Japan, the Japanese learned how the Sichuan opera performers were doing their face changing. And the person being interviewed believed that this was a tragedy that non-Chinese performers had learned the secret of how it was done, but they weren't well trained in it. Like what I just did. That was not, I mean, it was fairly smooth, I guess. I couldn't really see because the fan was blocking my face. But I'm not trained in Biàn Liǎn, so I have no clue. I mean, I know the methods that it's done in, but that doesn't mean that I'm well trained in how to do it. You can know how something is done, but still not be trained well enough to do it. And this opera performer argued that they needed to protect these traditional arts to keep them from being diluted in the greater world. In, again, the early 2000s, I think before this interview, there is a Hong Kong pop star / actor. His name is Andy Lau. And he allegedly tried to pay a Biàn Liǎn master 3 million yuan. 3 million yuan, which in US currency is like $300,000, something like that, in order to learn how to do Biàn Liǎn. Now, supposedly, he did learn, but both Andy Lau and the performer claim that no money changed hands. So, supposedly, this master taught an actor how to do this, which, again, the secret had been leaked 20 years prior, but this actor wanted to learn from a master, and this master was just like, yeah, sure, I'll teach you for free. You don't have to pay me. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And as I said, knowing the secret of how to do something still doesn't make it easy. And Andy Lau does know how the master changed quickly, but he's still, 20 years later, still hasn't mastered techniques. So just because you know how to do something doesn't mean that you can do that thing. I know how pianos work. It's not terribly difficult from a guitar. You have strings inside a piano that are tapped with a hammer to make notes. I know how a piano works. That doesn't mean I can play piano. You know how something works doesn't mean that you know how to do the thing that you now know the secret of how it works. More difficult to hide secrets now with videotape being able to slow it down. Very, very true. Very true. I'm sure if someone really wanted to, it wouldn't be terribly difficult to take the recording at the beginning of this live stream and slow it way down, and someone could see the exact moment that my hand dropped and this mask disappeared. With video cameras, secrets are difficult. Do we know when the tradition secret started until it was released in the 80s? Biàn Liǎn has been around well, it's part of Sichuan Opera. And Sichuan Opera has been around since the 1700s. So at least 300 years. At least. It's got to be close to that. If it's part of the Sichuan Opera, and Sichuan Opera originated around the year 1700. So, yeah, it's got to be at least 300 years. 1980s, early camcorders were out. Yep. They were still fairly large, and they weren't to the point where, today you can get a 4K and, zoom in on something and all that stuff. But they were around. My parents had a camcorder when that was in the early 90s, I think, when they first got theirs. But they are around. Acting performances do a lot of things differently from the actuality for effect. Very true. More respectable if they're changing it to preserve the tradition, but still they don't use it because, yeah. Misbeliefs and bastardized large scale, yes. At least since it's been a secret, so it could be much longer, but that's amazing it stayed secret so long. Family lines. That's exactly what it was. It was family lines. You did not see Biàn Liǎn outside of China until the mid-2000s. And then you get, you know, these televised talent shows like America's Got Talent and Penn and Teller Fool Us. And then you see these things on a international scale. But before that, you would literally have to hire a Chinese troupe and hope that they were willing to come to another country and do a performance for you. Other than that, it was done strictly in China until the mid-2000s. And since the cultural basis of opera is not well known outside of China, some of these international performers are trying to explain and inform Westerners of what the masks mean. Like I mentioned this last time. I got to get this because it's kind of... I mentioned this last time. This is the opera mask of Guan Yu. So if you see this mask, this specific one, this is always going to be Guan Yu. Doesn't matter if it's Sichuan Opera, if it's Peking Opera, Beijing, this is Guan Yu's mask. I will put that away later. This is one specific character. And I looked this up earlier this week. And I'm kind of annoyed at myself because I don't remember who it is. But this is a specific character. This specific paint pattern is a specific character. You can have... Let me see if I can find... Because I looked this up earlier this week. You have one specific mask that represents Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. You have one that's Guan Yu. You have one that is Liu Bei. They are very specific masks. Where did I find that? It's going to bug me until I find it now. Now we'll bring this one up. No, not that one. That was someone else. Trying to find the Monkey King mask. Because I know there is one. Well, there we go. That's a pretty good rendering right there. Okay, so share screen. Zoom in. There we go. That's probably good, yeah. That is Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. You can, if you know what you're looking for, you can tell that that's supposed to be a monkey mask. But that is Sun Wukong. So if you see someone wearing a mask like this that looks like that, or painted their face in that design, they are playing Sun Wukong. Sure, marrying to a family could well take quite a while before even, yes, absolutely. Because like I said, they're very protective of it. Yes, you would have to gain their trust that you're not doing this just to steal their secret and then you're going to run off. Wonder what specifically started to focus on animals for so many things. Born in the year. There's a story. Okay. It kind of explains. It won't explain. Oh, back up. It won't explain like why it happens in over here in the West, but in the East, there's a story. And it goes something like this. The Jade Emperor, basically the king of heaven, was having a birthday party. And he called all the animal kingdom to his birthday party. And the animals showed up one by one, and the order that the animals showed up in is the order of the Chinese zodiac. So the first one to show up was the rat, and then the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, the horse, I always get these mixed up. Hold on. I always get these mixed up. I need to... Okay. Rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and boar or pig. It depends on where your location, whether it's pig or boar. And the Chinese zodiac, those are the animals that are based on. And so a lot of the animal characters in Chinese history are based on those 12 animals. Now, there is also a separate legend that the Jade Emperor held a race of all of the animals to see who would be included in the calendar. And the first 12 were the ones that were chosen, and in the order that I just gave them. The rat was first, the ox was second, the tiger was third, and so on and so forth. If you were the 13th or the 14th or the 15th or the 32nd or the 98th, you weren't in the calendar. But I was also born in the year of the monkey. So, yes, they are very impressive. Donna monkey too. Love the effect of asking questions. So many don't in general. I'm not sure I ever thought of that curiosity before now. Yeah. And yes, this is also very true. I imagine Tao and Confucian beliefs influenced a lot of focus on nature and animals. More Taoism than Confucianism. And definitely more Taoism than Buddhism. Because, for the people who don't know, Buddhism is more focused on getting out of the circle of suffering. They want people to, because a lot of Buddhist beliefs, and this is coming from someone who considers himself a Buddhist, is kind of pessimistic. It's, you're born, you suffer, you die. You're born, you suffer, you die. You're born, you suffer, you die. Over and over and over again. It's kind of a pessimistic belief, which is why I personally include Taoism and Confucianism in my own belief structure. Because Taoism is focused more on harmony with nature. You want to have that harmony. And so, yes, Taoist beliefs focus a lot on animals and nature and the nature of animals and comparing that to the nature of people so that people can be in harmony with their animal brothers and sisters. So, yes. Good combo. It almost always is. Now, there are several methods of Biàn Liǎn. And within those methods, there's further structuring. So the main categories are blowing dust. So if you have dust in your palm, it usually starts in a pocket because you can't just carry dust around in your hand the whole time. It starts in a pocket. You reach in, you grab dust, you blow the dust, and as the dust is dissipating, the face changes. You can also, it's unpleasant, but you can also put the dust in your nostrils or in your mouth and then just blow it out. As long as your face is covered. Now, this one will be interesting for Carl. There's also beard manipulation. The colors of the beard can be changed from black to gray to white to express passage of time or anger or excitement. Usually what would happen is it would also be layered with more powder, and you would have, the darker colors or the lighter colors on the bottom, and then layer the darker colors so that when you needed to change, you could just run your fingers through the beard and the color would be pulled out. Those are always interesting. You have the pull masks, which are the ones that are most often used. And that is when the performer has a series of masks hidden up here, down here, or on the sides of their face. And they will pull them down or lift them up or pull to the side. And it will change the expression of the character they're playing. Happiness, anger, sadness, hate, rage, all of those will be different masks. Then you also have face dragging, where you will hide some grease paint like this in the sideburns, the eyebrows, or the hairline, and they will just simply pull. They will drag it with their bare hand and just pull it down or pull it over to the side or up. That's the main forms of face changing. Now, I guess I do kind of look like I'm wearing sunglasses, especially if I close my eyes. Now you guys are going to have to tell me what the coverage of on my eyelids is, because I can't see them, obviously, because my eyes are closed. Love to magically change beard color at a party or convention? Absolutely. Wonder if the tragedy comedy mask is influenced by... You know what? I bet it is. I bet it is, because the mask changing is meant to do exactly that, to change the expression of the performer. So I bet the tragedy comedy masks are, even if it's not directly influenced, you could probably trace the line back from those masks to Biàn Liǎn. And it might not be a straight line. It might not be an unbroken chain, but I bet there is a connection between the two. Good coverage on the eyelids. Good. Oh, I don't think you tried. I think you did fairly well. I mean, the gold and the yellow and the white here, I did those after the fact. I don't think they actually turned out very well. But, yeah, you did really good. I'm impressed. Not great at makeup, but it was fun attempting. I mean, next time we could try and do something more like this. Making changes of the expression brought that to mind. Yeah, exactly. Now, when it comes to the pull-down masks, Phantom of the Opera, half mask and cape. Yeah. The pull-down masks, I know of one. And this might not be how every performer does it, but I know of one method on how it's done. And it's basically fishing line. They hide either in their sleeve or, you know, in their, because they're usually wearing elaborate costumes. Like, hold on a second. Share screen again. Share that one. Here you have a Biàn Liǎn performer. You can kind of see the layers of masks here. And that is either just a random thread or that is the fishing line going behind his ear. And they can hide the fishing line in this hat, so that when it comes time for him to switch the mask out, he can just yank on that string and that mask will pull away and the one underneath it will be there. That is one of the ways it can be done. Now thinking of opera performers going to a bait and tackle store. Well, you're not entirely wrong, I guess. Now, stop doing it. As I said, I found a couple of videos. Now, I have yet to get dinged by this. I have played other YouTube videos on other streams, so hopefully I don't get dinged again, or I don't get dinged, period. But we have a couple of YouTube videos to show a little bit of Biàn Liǎn. So let's bring this one up first because it's shorter. I am absolutely doing it for educational purposes. This is true. They didn't say anything about the Ip Man performance, and they didn't say anything about what else did I do it on? I don't remember. So here we have Red Mask holding a very, very large flag. This is only 35 seconds. So this is in Chengdu in China. Not only did he do his mask, he did all the work behind it as well. And again. And again. Let's go. Right there.
Oh my God.
That was a good one. I like that one. Yes, changing all the masks on the hat as well. Yes, they all change. They all change at the same time. So that's going to be really, really well choreographed to change those that at the same time. So now we got one more. And this one's a little bit longer. And you're probably going to see multiple changes here again. just a little bit. That was really quick. His face wasn't even completely obscured on that one. See if we can slow this down just a little bit. Little half speed. And even at half speed, it's hard to catch. Even at half speed, that's hard to catch. That quick of a shift. Like I said, he wasn't even short his face. There was another one. Again. Ending with Spider-Man. Now, not only did this performer have to be aware of each of his mask changes, he also was doing fan work. So on top of changing all of the masks, he was also doing pieces of fan forms. That was... And the first guy wasn't doing nearly as much as the second guy was. The first guy was mostly just kind of walking around. This guy was stances, fan work. Yes, it really is amazing, isn't it, Ruby? It is incredibly beautifully done. Oh, trust me, I have no plans on ever even attempting anything like this. Nothing. Even remotely. But I would like to get back up on stage again. Every single movement of every bit of his body. That is, you're exactly right. It was amazing, wasn't it, Carl? Just seeing someone that, and they're choreographing it to music. That's also something that is traditional in Biàn Liǎn that I didn't even mention before. It's choreographed to music. So not only do you have to be 100% aware of your own mask changes and your own movements to obscure the face for the mask movements, you also have to be listening to the music to catch your cues. Because if you miss your cue, it's gonna mess everyone else up. That's one thing about being on stage with more than one person. You have to be aware of everyone else. Because if somebody else jumps the gun or they're late for their cue and you're on time, it's going to throw everybody else off. Everyone else is going to be lost. So you have to make sure that everything that you do is on time with the music. You have to make sure the right mask, because it's not all done, by hand. I forgot to mention that too. It's not all pulling. You can also do it, and I suspect that this is that picture I showed earlier, where you could maybe possibly see a string go behind his ear. It can also be done by a quick twitch of the head. So if you think about it, if you have a string from the side of your face going down your back, and that string is taut, when you move, that string's going to pull. So if you're, doing this and that, it's going to pull on those strings. So you yourself don't have to pull the mask off. It can be done by head movement alone. So you also have to be aware of, if you're doing it that way, you have to be aware of making sure that your head doesn't move. Because if it's set to this and you move your head just wrong, even if you don't go all the way far enough to pull it off, you're going to move it enough that people will see the underneath. So you have to make sure that your head is perfectly stationary. You have to be like, look forward. And if you get distracted, like, say, for instance, another performer misses their cue and you go, huh? There goes. Your mask is now off of everyone else's cues. So you got to be like right here. You maybe move a little bit, but you cannot do quick, far movements. And no, you cannot edit that with a live audience. That is why, if I ever had... Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. No, I think I'm good. If I ever had the opportunity to go and see a live Peking or Sichuan or Beijing opera, I would absolutely go do it. Because if you're filming something and you screw up, you can cut that. You can edit that out. If you're doing, face changing and you're not doing it live, you're just doing it on camera, it can just be like, okay, stop, cut, everyone hold still, new mask, okay, action. You can cut so that people don't see the change. If you're doing it live and everyone's watching you, everyone can see every single movement that you make, you better not screw up. You better be right on. When I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I don't remember which, we did a Christmas play for our elementary school. And I was one of the main characters. I was a train conductor, taking a young girl to all of these Christmas villages to show her, the magic of Christmas or whatever other stupid bullshit. And we had to do the play multiple times in one day, because the different grades, we didn't all do it as a school-wide event. We had to do it in chunks and bits and pieces so that the 1st and 2nd graders could see it, and then the 3rd and 4th graders could see it, and the 5th graders could see it. And then later that night, at like 7 o'clock at night, the parents could come and see it. So I had to do the same play 4 or 5 times. And since I was the main character, if I screwed up, the whole play went to garbage. And unfortunately, one time out of 4 or 5, I missed one of my lines. I was ahead in the script. Now, we kept the script under our chairs. And so when I missed the line, they closed the curtains, and my fellow actor or co-actor, or not co-host, what the hell is the damn word I'm looking for? My person on stage with me sitting down, I missed the line and she looked at me and they closed the curtains and I'm like, what? And she's like, no, we're not to that part yet. And so because each person, yes, co-star. Thank you, Carl. Co-star, yes. I was too early for that cue. And because each grade only saw the play one time, you were told when we were rehearsing, if you screw up, make sure that every single other person on stage razzes you for missing your cue. You're supposed to walk up to the person that messed up as a, third or fourth grader and go, thanks a lot. Basically shaming the person, the child, for missing a line one time. Because, well, that grade's never going to see the play again. So what? I was a child, you ridiculous person. But yes, live audiences, if people screw up, the audience is going to know. And so Biàn Liǎn performers have to be right on. Like they would imitate in movies, or yes. Explain some stances. Yes, the head, you might be able to move like a little bit, but yeah, no pressure at all. None whatsoever. No. You're fine. As a child, is it any wonder that after that happened, and here's the really annoying part, it was mandatory. You weren't allowed to not be in the play. It was mandatory for that grade to do the Christmas play. Now, there were options on who could be what character. I have no idea why they picked me to be the main star, but they did. But it was mandatory to be in the play. That would just make me mess up if they never said that to begin with. Yeah, exactly. All right, so kind of disappointed that Joe and Trey were not here for this one because it was obviously her idea. And the really funny part is she probably doesn't even remember she gave me the idea because, like I said, it was months ago. It was earlier this summer when she gave me the idea. So I was kind of hoping they'd be here to watch this live just so she could see the switch. But it's recorded. It's recorded. So you can go back and rewatch it later. Like I said, Monday, another Nine Dragons play stream at the usual time. And then possibly nothing live until the next Monday. Not going to be a Teahouse next Saturday because most of my audience is going to be at a convention. I might, maybe, be doing something Wednesday night. No, I'm going to do something Wednesday night, but I haven't decided if it's going to be a recorded video to upload later or if it's going to be a live stream that people can hop on and comment on and everything else. But I have a few ideas for this week when I don't have anything else going on. I have ideas for short form videos and other things that I'm going to get done this week that I've been putting off. Because the weeks are fairly busy most of the time. So now, after Monday, not having anything to really do, I'm going to try and get a lot of the things that I've been holding off done while I have the time. Great show tonight. I hope Trey watches later. Sure that she will. I hope that she does too. Great show. Love you and love you, fam. Love you too, Sarah. And it was really, really awesome to see you again. I really do notice when some of my viewers don't show up for a long time. And I worry about people because, again, for the 4 millionth time, I don't call you people my sword family just because I consider you family. And when people don't show up, I kind of worry about you. So it was really, really good to see you, Sarah. I know you've been busy. I understand. I'm not trying to say that you need to be here every week or anything like that. I completely understand you're busy. Just know that when I don't see you, I'm thinking about you. And this is true for everybody else. When I don't see you, I'm thinking about you. Because you are my sword family. Gonna replay the first part to see the change again. Took me by surprise. Yeah, exactly, Foxy. That was the idea. That was the whole point of doing this. Awesome indeed. It really is. All right, guys. We are over the hour. We're almost always over the hour with these things because I just love talking about these things. I get passionate about things. What can I say? But I will be back on Monday. Probably not still painted. This is, today and today only. Unless, I get a special request from a patron. My God, that was harder to say than I thought it was going to be. My tongue just said, ugh. If I get a patron request to do this again or something like this, I will absolutely do it for my patrons. The rest of you, join the Patreon if you want more. But, Sarah can hear you laughing. And so can Dawn. Yes, my microphone is fairly impressive. But it doesn't pick up like when the heater kicks on or when I have my fan in the corner on. It doesn't pick that up. So I know that my noise gate is absolutely awesome. I love it. I love this microphone. Yes, you are lurking. You're always lurking. Oh, please. Your evil laugh is cute. It's not even evil. It's just adorable. Okay. I got to go wash this shit off. And then eat dinner. But I will be back on Monday. And then you might not see me until a week from Monday. Like someone else with Thesis's voice. Well, maybe it is. Maybe I took over his body just for tonight. You never know. Still hear the laughter anyway. You're probably not wrong. Foxy cuddling with Inigo. No, he's napping. Aw. Aw. Yes, Pinky Wiggles, everybody. Yes, that is your Neff pup. Good night and good night. I will see you on Monday. And I will see you all next time. Yes, I didn't bring that up. Tomorrow is Inigo's Gotcha Day. Tomorrow we will have had him for 1 year. He has a very special treat in our bedroom closet that I will possibly film video of giving him his special treat just so I can show everyone how awesome he is. Good night. Good night. Already, I know. It blows me away too. It's been a year. Happy early gotcha day to Inigo. Yes. Got him a nummy antler to chew on. Yes. Happy birthday of your forever home. And good night from Dan. I will see you all next time. 再见。